guys, welcome to another episode of Haunt Talk. In today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Ghoul Brothers in Akron, Ohio. We have been here before. We did not go last year. We went in 2017, which was their first year open, and we were very impressed by it then. Spoiler alert, we were more impressed by it now. It is actually in like a little shopping plaza. Very kind of unassuming location.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like much from the outside because it's a shopping plaza, but don't let that fool you. There's a lot going on the inside.
Yeah, it's behind a grocery store.
Yeah. That's what's on the inside that counts.
Right. Peas on aisle 5. Yeah. And ghouls on aisle 6.
Oh, God. But we'll go ahead and start getting the review here. The first category is sets and props. And this place really kind of blew it out of the water as far as sets and props go. It's just room after room after room of just things and just stuff and
detail and just crazy little things
we actually got to go through it twice, and still it's hard for me to remember everything because there's so much.
Oh yeah.
And we'll touch on it because it doesn't really fit anywhere in the categories, but the reason we got to go through twice was because people in front of us basically stopped moving, so it pretty much was ruining our experience, and they spaced us out. It is not to their fault. It was a good 5 minutes between us and that group in front of us, at least it felt like, and we instantly caught up with them because they were just people that just stop in haunted houses. If you're watching this, don't stop in haunted houses. Walk at a steady pace. Unless the actors are forcing you to stop, don't stop. We like looking at stuff too, but when you stop, you just make a conga line, you ruin people's experience.
Right.
But thankfully they noticed this, and they basically said, hey, we know this happened, so would you like to go through again? We were like, yes, and we went through again. Yeah. But let's see. Oh God. I'm just trying to think of there's so many different scenes. There's a really cool attic scene.
Yeah, I was just going to say the attic scene was really creepy.
And then I do remember that from the first year. I do remember that scene. One thing that was definitely new was they had a laser swamp, and there was a giant crocodile in there.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool. There was multiple facades of buildings that you kind of walk through. There was a whole pig area, and it was cool. They had one of those half claustrophobia tunnels with heads, and then there's even a guy with a saw up in the air on top of you.
Yeah.
All kinds of crazy puppets and stuff.
Yeah. The one thing I like is the way that the rooms are set up is that they're able to scare you in multiple places, because I almost think that it's set up almost like a horseshoe,
yeah.
The way they can, the actors can, kind of pop in and pop out and go in different areas and stuff and get you numerous times, the same actor.
Yeah, it's insane, and I think I might have said in the other review, but I mentioned it to her, is, it is probably one of the most well-designed haunted houses I've ever been to, as far as, them being able to maximize, the scare, and, it's really efficient. The haunted house is very efficient in, how it's designed.
Right. Yeah.
Because they can have one actor that can get you 3 times because of the way, he might be having a puppet, you might be here, and there's a puppet, you walk around here, and now he's able to interact with this scene. And so, the way they're able to interchange throughout it is just so smart.
Yeah.
The only complaint we had was there is a section that it was just, black walls, so it's a black wall maze, and there really wasn't anything that happened in it. Everything else, there's constantly, something happening in it.
Yeah.
But there's so much cool stuff to see, so many cool scenes, and just the place was designed so well. We did still give them actually a 10 in this category because everything else made up for this one section. But I would like to see that eliminated and just turned into an actual scene instead of just a black maze. Or if there's going to be a black maze, I would like to see something done more with it.
Yeah.
And maybe that was just one area, there weren't actors for it maybe or something, but literally nothing happened, just that one section.
Right.
But everything else was so great, we still gave them a 10 because it way outweighed it. Which, speaking of actors, that does bring us into our next category. Actors. absolutely phenomenal job, and there were, I don't even know how many. Like, I don't think there was as many as it seemed because of how well it was designed.
Right, yeah, because they would just, like, bombard you.
Oh, there were
like,
scenes where I'd have one person go here, one here, and then there. I'm like, what the hell? They're everywhere.
And we had some that were, like, following us, and then they would disappear, and then, like, a few minutes later, they would be in another scene, and we're like, how did you even get here? Like, you stopped back there, and
yeah,
and they just had so many good spots to hide, and
so
very interactive.
Yeah, it's just everywhere. Like there'd just be little holes in the wall, and there'd just be someone's face on it. Like they would just pop. Like there was I think there was one where there's like a suit of armor, and it's just like a suit of armor. This is kind of up on this thing. You're just walking around a corner, but then there's like a little behind him was like a curtain, and then like the one guy opened up the curtain and shoved his face and screamed at me and scared the crap out of me. Like everywhere you look, it just seemed like was a hiding space for an actor.
Mm-hmm.
And they also interacted pretty well as well. Like she said, they would stalk you. The clown, came up and he was stalking you and kind of like cut me off to get behind her quite a few times. They had some pretty good stuff. So one of them made us kiss a pig. And I mean, they would like bum rush you. They would run at you and like stop dead in your face. It was freaky.
There was one of those backwards crawling, spider crawling person. There was like a little girl with a baby doll that was creepy as all heck.
Yeah. And all the makeup and like costumes were super cool. Like super cool.
Like not your typical just like put a mask on kind of stuff. Like these were like really cool masks. Like the clown that was stalking me, he had this cool like black light clown mask that was just really creepy. Actually, if you go to their like Facebook page and stuff, they actually have him on there like featured, and you'll see what I mean. It's like it's really creepy.
Yeah.
Really cool.
And then like even the queue line actors, it was really fun. There's one guy and he stole our tickets.
Yeah.
Only gave Kim her ticket back, and then when we get up to the person that take the ticket, he's like, "Oh well, I'm going, he doesn't have a ticket." And she's like, "Oh, you don't have your ticket?" And then like he goes, and I'm like, "Well, yeah, he took it from me." And then she actually took me by the arm and took me outside and actually told the real sheriff, like the real police officer or whatever that was out there, security guard. She was like, "Yeah, the guy came up and stole his ticket," and the guy's completely clueless. And then like it was like this whole thing, and like he was not in on the joke, but it was hysterical, and like I don't know, that was just really awesome. But yeah, we could go on and on about actors. All of them were just phenomenal. We of course gave them a 10. Like there really wasn't any room for improvement. There was bazillions of them, and
they were just everywhere.
they were all great.
Right. So that brings us to scare factor. Again, they were everywhere.
Yeah.
They scared the crap out of me. Just really, really well done. Very great hiding spots.
There's still some of them would jump out. Like, I would get scared, and I'm like, I don't even know where you came from. Like, literally, I don't know where you came from.
And, like, the second time we went through, we knew, like, some of the spots, but they still scared us. Like, I knew this guy was going to pop out, and he still scared me popping out at the same spot. And I was just like,
and it was cool. And it was cool, actually, being able to go, like, back through it again. So it's almost, in a way, it kind of benefited us that those people ruined the first one for us. Well, I wouldn't say they ruined, but they definitely hampered it.
Yes.
Because, like, there are so many things that, like, we didn't see the first time.
Right.
There's so many things that, like, scares that were different or changed. Like, the actor would be in a different position in the same room. Yeah. And, yeah, it was really cool. Now, this place, they're not really allowed to touch you or anything like that at this place. And that's really the only thing that would make the intensity of the scare factor a little bit more. And as we like to always state, scare factor is the one category where it's like, just because it's a lower rating doesn't mean that the haunt's bad. But for scare factor, we did give them a 9.5. It is very scary. But it's not like they're super aggressive and going to grab you and stuff. Like if you watch our Mansfield review, that's what we gave a 10 to, because literally they'll just grab you if you have a touch pass on and like throw you into cells. That's not going to happen here, but they're going to jump scare the crap out of you and be in your face.
stalk you and
Yeah.
breathe on you and just be really uncomfortably close.
But I will say that the haunt is a lot of fun, though.
Yes.
It's not super gory, and it definitely has almost this, like, scary-ass, whimsical vibe to it. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But because that being said, if your kid's freaked out of haunted houses, this is not a good first one. But if they're, like, okay with it, I think that they would still have fun here.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is very startling. Lots of jump scares.
All right, so that brings us to value. It's $20 to get in.
Mm-hmm.
And it took us, how long?
About 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes.
Give or take. What's weird is we kind of were surprised by that because it seemed like it took longer.
Yeah.
But it's just because it's set piece after set piece after set piece, and there's not much, there's like no dead space. Where in other haunted houses, they might be a half hour long, but only maybe a few minutes of that's actually people coming out and startling you. Where this place, it was like, there was not one scene, albeit just that black maze, that there wasn't at least one or two actors, usually more than two, just popping out of the woodworks at us.
Yes.
And it just... So while, yes, $20 is a little bit high for a haunt that's 15 minutes or a little bit under, the quality is so high and you're getting so many things happening in that time that it's still very much worth it. And they don't offer a fast pass or anything like that, I don't believe. I think the only thing I saw, it just said $20 for general admission. I didn't see any other ticketing options.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
There might be discounts, like, somewhere. This is also later in the season, but... So, when you watch us, you might be going for the 2020 season, which I'm excited about. But for value, we gave them an 8.5. Still really good, still worth it. 20 is a little bit high for a haunt that's on the shorter rank. So when we reviewed it 2 years ago, it was 17. And it felt like there's more, but when I actually timed it, we were in it for maybe just a little bit longer than we were in 2017 when we went.
So that brings us down to overall, and we did give them a 9.5.
Yep, and honestly, this play, next year we'll be switching to a 0.25.
Yeah, we're gonna do like quarter decimals kind of thing.
Right.
So,
but we decided not to do that for any of them this year because we didn't do that at the beginning. And so this whole year we're doing that. But honestly, I think if we were doing that this year, this would be a 9.75 probably. Yeah. Because it's really, really close to...
close to perfect.
Close to perfect. I would... some things I'd like to see is I'd like to see it just be a little bit longer. I think there's still room in that building. That one, like, dark maze, that be a scene. Or at least make it, like, a really freaky dark maze or something like that if you're going to continue it. But besides that, that's really it. Like, everything else is about as perfect as can be, so just a little bit longer, and maybe that changed around or something. Really, I just want it to be longer because I don't want it to end. But I still felt like, I still felt like we got our money's worth because the place was great. But yeah, that does it for this review. Also, if you're at this place, Akron Haunted Schoolhouse and Laboratory is closed because it's also in Akron. That's another one that's really good. Didn't go to it this year, but we did go to it the previous year, and it is very good. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to us on YouTube, ring the bell for notifications. We're going to be doing more videos this year based on the haunt industry and stuff. We plan on doing some off-season events like the Christmas haunted houses or whatever kind of events we can find that we can get to. And also make sure to like us on Facebook. That link is in the description as always. And, well, that does it for this video. We will see you in the next, I guess.
Bye.
Bye.